My name is William Archibald Finlayson, but people call me Archie. I am a poet. It took me a long time to realize this. Notice, do not pour water down this sink. It will stand, stagnate, begin to stink. When water cannot freely flow, dangerous bugs begin to grow. For from one single bacterium, a terrible, dreaded disease may come. So if you'll all heed my pleas, we can all escape this foul disease, and be well rid of that little germ that can fell the mightiest pack of doom. And so I say to you again, do not pour water down this drain. I was hit in the back of the head when I was a toddler, and I believe that blow changed my life. I've been a slow learner ever since. I was in Toronto, and I was 16, 17 years of age, and somehow I contracted a terrible stutter. How, I do not know. One of the hardest letters to pronounce was the letter F, which letter starts my surname. One day I called my brother Andrew, and I could not pronounce my surname. I decided then and there that I was going to become a better speaker. For some reason, when I introduced myself as Finlayson, W.A., I did not stutter. It was a surprise, but it worked. From that time on, the W must be in my name because it was the beginning of the end of my speech impairment. It can be W.A. or W. Archibald, but the W must be there. And I bought myself a dictionary, and I read it from cover to cover because I wanted to find words which I could pronounce, over which I did not stutter. I do not know how or why, but I had some idea that the words would come for me, and they did. It stopped my stutter. I haven't thought of it before, but I believe this is the time I began to enjoy words, and I've enjoyed my English language ever since. It wasn't until I was nearly 50 that I began to write in earnest. I am going blind, but I cannot use a pencil because my arthritic hand will not hold it. I can still see the keys on the typewriter, but I'm not a touch typist, so that takes some time. As I think of the season, the poems just come to me, and I write many of them for the Salvation Army. I want you to know this too. I take my prayers to the Lord and wait, and sometimes He answers. It's a funny thing, memory. Mine is getting better. It used to be a piece of my poetry would come to me. If I didn't write it down, I would lose it, even if it was the best thing I ever thought of. But now I can remember the lines until I get them on paper. I have a talent to make words rhyme. That's how I pass much of my time. Some verse is bad, some sublime, some are witty. If I were not so erudite, working by day and half the night, and my verses never came to light, that would be a pity. For many years I've written verse, but never yet has it filled my purse, and yet none can be any worse than this little ditty. When I was 86 years of age, my first book of poems was published. I had a friend who twisted my arm to get them in order, and he published them. He got 100 copies. That was 5 years ago. Another friend is working on my next publication to add those poems which I have since written. My name is William Archibald Finlayson, and I am a poet. I found some sesquipedalian words. Hey, words a foot and a half long, in other words, big long words. You don't need to put that in there.
Oh, it's okay. It sounds good though. We should stick that word in somewhere.
Yes.
Sesquipedalian?
Yes.
That's a nice word.
91 years ago, I was born. It was a beautiful Sunday morning. 68 degrees Fahrenheit, it was that Sunday night. The meteorologist told me so, and that's how I got to know. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.